Just an update on the Jayden Smith situation. As you know, this young man has been missing since last Friday, and persons are saying that yes, he is indeed alive, and eyewitnesses said that she saw him. She was driving by and she saw him, and a man was calling out to him, and he basically ran away because it seems as if he was scared. The police were also contacted, and he also ran away and escaped the police.
It relates to the sighting, so conclusively, based on who I spoke with, Jayden was seen along this Wesley Road area here last night. When they raised the alarm, he started to run. One of my staff workers at school saw him, and she said that she had gotten some help from one of the male persons that was on the road that was going in the other direction. They could have held on to him. But by the time they could have done anything, he disappeared somewhere in the area.
Basically, a lot of persons, based on that comment, is saying that yes, they saw him, but persons are not agreeing that this could actually be Jayden Smith. They're saying that it could potentially be someone that looks like him. And remember, kids are taught in Jamaica to beware of strangers. So that woman who was driving by and thought she saw Jayden Smith and called out to him, and the man was shouting for help because he was running away, it could have been someone else and not necessarily Jayden Smith. But as this gentleman just confirmed based on conversations with the people in the area, they're saying that it is indeed Jayden Smith and he ran away. But the question is, why would he run? A lot of persons are very concerned about this because if you remember, there was an accident before.
When I was called that my son fell and broke his leg after playing with Jayden, at no point in time it crossed my mind that it was something malicious, because Jayden is not that type of child. At no point in time I thought anything bad. Boys being boys, he's a 2-year-old boy that is very active.
So based on that accident, that was the mother of the child that Jayden was playing with, and he was playing with this 2-year-old baby boy, and apparently he broke his hip or side or something to that effect. And this is why persons are saying maybe Jayden did run away. Maybe these people did actually see him, but there's a lot of persons who are still skeptical, and it is very skeptical for real. So it makes you think, like, why would he run away? He must be with somebody who he feels safe with, and he may not feel safe at home in the moment. And everyone is talking that Jayden Smith, he's a stellar student. He was a top pep student. He's very well poised. He's a good boy. So why would he run away? And it just makes me think, the only time kids really run away, if that is the case, in this case, is because they don't feel safe, and he probably feels guilty for what happened. But on the other side, other persons are saying we need to start investigating the family. Suppose something happened. And I mean, this is a child, so we have to look at both sides. We're not saying this is the case, but we have to be checking. And now we have persons saying they see him and he's alive, and some people still do not believe that this is the case, and they believe that the police need to be doing more and need to be pressing the family more. These are some of the concerns that persons have. He does not feel safe. One person took to Instagram to say the boy is clearly running away from something at home. What is it that the family is not telling us? Anyway, I doubt that story about seeing him is true. My prayer is that he is safe and will be found alive soon. Jayden, if you're seeing this, please find the nearest police station. They won't harm you. And this, along with other persons, they all share this sentiment. They feel like they're just seeing someone who looks like Jayden. I mean, little boys do look alike, right? And because persons in the area are so alert and they're looking for any little boy thinking that it's Jayden Smith, that just might have been the situation. But I said, based on the video I shared before, they believe, based on conversations with the lady who claimed she saw him and he ran away when they shouted out to acknowledge him and say, hey, Jayden, whatever. He ran away, and they are confirming that yes, it was actually him. But I agree 100% with this commenter. Like, he doesn't feel safe. Something happened. I know how people get especially when it's a baby and it's your child and they are playing and they get hurt. So you get rough and tough on the other child that did it. So I don't know. It's just a lot of things that I feel like the police need to be zoning in a little bit more on the family. And we need something else. Like, he must be somewhere. If it is really him, he must be somewhere where he feels safe enough to even be staying there, to be running away from others. Another person commented and said, I just feel he's scared. Oh gosh, I'm hoping there's some way to assure him that he's going to be okay. And that's the same thing I feel. If he was actually seen, if he was the actual boy that lady saw and he ran away, something was said to him that made him feel very unsafe, for him to feel like, yeah, I cannot go back home because them are gonna beat me, them are gonna this, them are gonna that. I can't go back home, I can't go deal with that. You better me run away. Something must have been said. I don't feel like we're getting the full story. Everybody wants to, say, all right, he ran away. Them try first sweet up the thing and make it look like, oh, me never cuss him or nothing. I mean, things happen. Boys will be boys. But at the end of the day, we were all young once and we all played with cousins. And when the younger ones start ball, just know, say, your auntie around come and I ask you, the older one, what the hell you do to our picnic? It now go just be like, oh, I'm a good boy. Boys are going to be boys, especially for a 2-year-old. I don't think so. But honestly, I do hope that he is indeed alive based on the latest reports and updates in the media. Now, on to Judge Ruth and what happened to her. They're saying that currently they are suspecting that it was a case of her inducing this poison to unalive herself, which is very interesting to me because based on this story, her husband was the one that found her, and apparently they're not sleeping in the same room. And he got up, and normally they would go for their walk in the morning, and he did not see her. And then he came back, he still realized that she was not up, and hours went by and he prepared her food. And it was like, where is she? Like, I prepare her food. It's time for her to go to court. And he went basically in the room because the door was locked apparently. And he found her. And she was rushed to the hospital, but she didn't make it. But there's just so many things. I don't know if this was indeed another self-unaliving case. We need to pray for Jamaica because something is happening in Jamaica that we don't know about. But Xing that part out of it and focusing on her husband, a lot of persons are saying that, the story not adding up because there's this case now where persons are saying, well, she was on leave. She was on a few days leave. So why would he be getting up to prepare food for her to go to work when she was on few days leave? Guys, honestly, they don't even want this case to be shared in the public because they're saying, oh, she deserves some respect, some privacy, and everyone deserves that. But it is just something to think about. Like, in cases like this, the partner is normally the first suspect. And to know that this is a case of poisoning, one cannot completely say that she did this to herself. But let us see what comes out.